Traders, good afternoon. Alex here from Bulls and Bears, or folks, Alex from YouTube. Really quick, if you're new to my channel, my name is Alex and I am a 19-year-old trader attempting to master the stock market to potentially one day join the very few who make a living out of this. I currently manage a little under $12,000 now, which may not sound like a lot to many of you guys, but that is a perfect amount to build skill, intuition, and experience. So if you're a person looking to get into these markets, or maybe you're already trading these markets, you're definitely in the right place, as everything that I show here is not only realistic but truthful. You will see all my losers like you see on the screen right now, and all my winners like I typically show on my spreadsheet. So with that being said, let's get into this video. I want to talk about two things. Number one, my 4 picks for the week, and number two, the general market direction, which is pretty much the first thing you should be doing before you determine a move, at least for my strategy, and it should be for your strategy if you are a swing trader, in my opinion. So with that being said, let's look at the S&P 500 first because, well, it's the first thing you should do. So if you don't know what the S&P 500 is, let's just do a quick Google search and I will show you that. So why is S&P 500 so important? The S&P 500 is largely considered an essential benchmark index. So it's an index for the US stock market composed of 500 large cap companies across a breadth of industry sectors. The index captures the pulse of the American corporate economy. Let me say that again. It captures the pulse of the American corporate economy. So what does that mean? It pretty much just measures the health of the economy, and it measures how the big companies are performing in the economy. So in other words, if economies are doing bad, you should expect the S&P 500 to do bad as well, which it actually has been. As you can see, we're in a downtrend right here. If you don't know what a downtrend is, for those newbies out there, it pretty much consists of higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and on the flip side, lower lows, and lower lows. So once we determine the general market direction, which is a downtrend, that's for the weekly though. That's for like a big time frame. Like if you're an investor, this is definitely the time frame to be looking at. But for the daily, for the swing traders that typically trade from like 2 weeks, from 1 week to 2 weeks, or 1 day to 2 weeks, you should definitely be looking at the daily chart. So now every candle that you see is composed of one day. So we're looking from 048 to December 19 we're in today. So the past few days, actually the last 5 days have all been red. So we've pretty much just been coming down very aggressively. And to be quite frank with you guys, it is insanely rare to see 6 red days in a row. So tomorrow I'm expecting a massive pullback, maybe not massive, but I'm expecting a relatively good size green day. I'm expecting things to go up tomorrow, especially because I'm noticing this little trend line right here. We have 1 bounce, 2, 3, and this could potentially be the 4th one. So tomorrow, if we get a green bar, it is likely to continue to move up a little higher. That is why I am making this video, because the 4 stocks that I pick are all for the upside. So now that we know that, or at least in my opinion, now that I think the market has a good potential of moving up, the very first stock, my favorite stock, is NVDA. So let's take a look at NVDA real quick. Alright, so this is the weekly chart of NVIDIA. Every candle is 1 week. As you can see, we've pretty much came up all the way to 346 and came right back down. Kind of like the S&P 500. We spiked and then we came back down. So if we look deeper, which is where the interesting part is at, like I said, we're only looking for a few days worth of movements, not really big moves, just a few days worth of movement. We see something very similar that we saw in the S&P 500, and that is a little trend line right here. But this is special, and I really like this one for a few reasons, because, well, it's pretty tight, to be honest with you guys. So your risk to reward will be really good. Like you could put your stop loss literally right under this line right here, and it'll be like a $2 stop loss, which is perfect actually. But we've pretty much bounced off this line once, kind of 2, 3, and potentially the 4th one right here. Like I said, again, we've been coming down for 5 days in a row now. It is highly unlikely that a 6th day will occur. Now, to be quite frank with you guys, when it comes to individual stocks, it is likely, but it isn't likely for that to happen in the S&P 500. But like I said, if the S&P 500 goes up, it is likely that these stocks will follow, especially considering that they are big companies in the US. So that's number 1, you guys. NVIDIA, really perfect area to be in right now. My favorite stock so far. Next one is Netflix. Let's take a look at Netflix. So Netflix is my second favorite because, well, to be quite frank with you guys, we came down pretty aggressively the past months, and I really don't like that aggressiveness. So that's why it's ranking on my second right now. But if we look at if we take a closer look at the daily chart, yeah, we also have a pretty big gap over here that we already closed actually, so that doesn't matter. But let's look closer at the daily chart. Very similar trend line right here. Again, same trend line, same concept going up. We bounce off it 1, 2, not quite 3, but 4 potentially tomorrow. And we also have a little gap right here that typically 70% of gaps get closed, so it is likely that we will close this gap in the next coming days, and that move would be around $20, so that would be a really nice risk to reward. And like I said, you could put your stop loss right on this line right here, very close stop loss with high reward. So that is my second stock to look after. The third one is going to be Tesla, I think. Alright, so the next one I want to show is actually Apple, because Tesla is part of the worst one, so I want to save the worst for last. But Apple, fairly good on the weekly. We're coming up, we're coming down just a little bit. Nothing compared to the S&P 500 is hardly down anything. But well, even on the weekly it looks nice, but let's look at the daily chart. So daily chart, we've been coming down, we've kind of been making lower lows. That is why I really don't like Apple and Tesla that much, because we're kind of betting against the grain. We're going against the grain right here. You can see we have lower low, lower low. Well, these two aren't really lower lows, but they're pretty much going sideways. And the past few days, we've been almost making a completely new low, which is a little bit aggressive. So definitely a lot of risk on this one right here. But it is also a potential candidate for a bounce right here. And it'll be a really good bounce if we do get a rejection from this line right here. So let's take a look at Tesla now. Yep, very discouraging chart right here, unfortunately, and it's actually one of the ones that I'm in right now, so it's quite unfortunate. But it's still really good for. To be honest, I'm probably gonna have to hold this position for a week or two. But same concept as Apple, where it's actually a down trending line. So if you don't remember, the S&P and NVDA and NFLX were actually a line that was trending higher, so up, but this line right here is trending lower, so we're kind of betting against the grain on this one as well. That is why I don't like it. And in terms of the daily chart, well, it's slow. In terms of the daily chart, it looks like just today we barely bounced off this blue line right here. We didn't quite reach it, but this is good enough to be quite honest with you guys. And well, yeah, I'm actually expecting a really nice bounce off this Tesla trade right here. So that's going to be the fourth and last final stock pick. But I wanted to show you guys something really quick, just because I have 2 trades left to close, and then I pretty much finish off my last week of the month. And I have a really nice spreadsheet right here going on. So for those of you guys who do watch my video, this is going to be really exciting to show you guys, to fill up for you guys. I have my trading checklist, which I encourage you guys to put on your checklist, to add a checklist if you don't already to your trading methodology. And I have my strategies right here, and everything looks pretty much the same as I had it before, although only this time it is black and white, so things look a little more better in my opinion. But yeah, with that being said, like I said, we're definitely bullish now, at least for the next coming few days. I don't expect this to continue drastically unless we break a really important area, which is probably right here actually. The important area is like 405. Right now we're at 380 for the S&P 500. This is an old picture, by the way, so I was actually predicting the price to come down, which it actually did, 20 points, so that was a good prediction right there. But here's the watch list again for you guys: NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, and the S&P 500. And my favorite being NVIDIA and Tesla, and of course the S&P 500. For those of you guys who trade options, definitely a good trading setup right now taking place. And the quote to end it for you guys, as Carl Jung nicely put it, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." And there you have it, you guys. I'll see you guys during the week, and I'll keep you guys updated with my spreadsheet and everything else. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Stay focused, you guys.